Here is part 8, continuing the dramatic, fully fictional storyline. Part 8, The Day of Reckoning. Monday arrived with a strange heaviness in the air, as if the entire entertainment world was holding its breath. The sun shone brightly over Los Angeles, but neither Eddie Murphy nor Jimmy Kimmel felt the warmth. Today wasn't just another taping. It was history in the making. The city buzzed with anticipation long before the cameras rolled. The ride to the studio. Eddie Murphy sat in the back of a sleek black SUV, dressed in a simple black suit, no tie. Clean, minimal, controlled. His publicist Lisa sat to his left, scrolling through her tablet, while Marcus, his manager, rode up front next to the driver. The car hummed down Hollywood Boulevard. Fans were already lined up outside the studio, holding signs that read, "We love you, Eddie. Respect legends. Boundaries matter." Eddie stared out the window at them, humbled, grateful, and maybe just a little bit nervous. Lisa looked up from her tablet. "You ready?" Eddie inhaled deeply. "I'm ready to talk. Nothing more, nothing less." Marcus turned slightly in his seat. "Just remember, this is your moment." Not his. Eddie nodded, but his mind was elsewhere. He wasn't preparing lines. He wasn't planning a speech. He simply wanted to tell the truth. The SUV turned into the private studio entrance. Dozens of paparazzi flashed cameras. Security barked orders. Producers waited at the back door, anxious and sweaty. Eddie stepped out calmly, almost gracefully. Showtime. 2. Kimmel's anxiety hits peak. Inside the building, Jimmy Kimmel paced his dressing room like a man awaiting sentencing. His heart raced in his chest, and he couldn't decide whether he felt nauseous or overheated. His wife Sarah stood nearby, watching with concerned eyes. "Jimmy, breathe." "I am breathing," he snapped, before instantly regretting it. "I'm sorry, I don't know what he's going to say." "Then listen," she said. "Don't try to be funny. Don't try to spin it. Just listen." Jimmy sank into the couch and buried his face in his hands. "It shouldn't have come to this." Sarah sat beside him, "But it did, and now you fix it." A knock sounded at the door. Tom, the producer, peeked in. "He's here." Jimmy's shoulders tightened. This was happening. No escape, no edits, no second takes. Live TV had never felt so terrifying. 3. Backstage, two worlds collide. The studio corridors were a maze of tension. Eddie's team occupied one hallway, Kimmel's team another. Staff members whispered nervously as they passed each other. When Eddie entered his assigned dressing room, the atmosphere shifted. Crew members straightened their posture. Assistants stood a little taller. Everyone sensed the weight of his presence. Inside, Eddie's room was prepared meticulously. Bottled water, fresh fruit, soft lighting, monitors displaying muted news feeds. He sat down, closed his eyes, centered himself. A knock came. Marcus opened the door cautiously. "It's Jimmy's producer. He wants to check in. Only if you're okay with it." Eddie opened his eyes. "Let him in." Tom stepped inside, unusually humble for a man used to controlling every second of live television. "Eddie," Tom began, "thank you for coming." "Truly." Eddie studied him, expression unreadable. "I'm here for a conversation, not a show." Tom nodded. "Understood. We want to respect your boundaries. Everything is set exactly as your team agreed." "Good," Eddie replied. Tom hesitated, then added, "Jimmy wants to speak to you privately before the show." "Just for a minute." Eddie took a slow breath. "No." Tom blinked. "No," Eddie repeated calmly. "We talk on air. No backroom apologies. No private deals. If he wants to be real, we do it real." Tom swallowed hard. "I'll tell him." The audience arrives. Outside the studio, hundreds of people filled the sidewalk. Some were fans. Some were protesters. Some were just curious. Security kept a tight perimeter. Inside, the audience lined up for seating. The energy was electric, confused, polarized. Everyone knew they weren't walking into a comedy show. A warm-up comedian tried to get the crowd laughing. It didn't work. They were here for something else. Something historic. 10 minutes to live. The countdown began. Jimmy stood behind the curtain, microphone clipped on, palms sweating. Eddie waited backstage, composed, hands clasped behind him. Two men, two reputations, two narratives colliding. Producers scrambled in the control room, rehearsing camera cuts, discussion pacing, emergency protocols, commercial timing. Linda Duvall, the senior ABC executive, hovered behind the technicians. Remember, she instructed, we do not interfere unless absolutely necessary. Let them speak. The staff nodded nervously. 5 minutes. 4, 3, V. And now, please welcome. The band played softly, not cheerful, not energetic, just a subtle instrumental tone to introduce gravity. Jimmy walked onto the stage. The applause felt awkward, reluctant. People didn't know if they should cheer or stay silent. Jimmy swallowed hard and stepped up to the desk. Tonight is different, he began, voice shaking slightly. There's someone here I owe a conversation to. The audience leaned in. Jimmy continued, ladies and gentlemen, Eddie Murphy. The room erupted, not with cheers, not with chants, but with a collective gasp. Every eye turned to the curtain. 7. Eddie walks out. Eddie stepped onto the stage with slow, deliberate steps. Calm, confident, controlled. His face was unreadable, his presence enormous. The audience rose to its feet. Not in excitement, but in respect. Eddie nodded politely, then took his seat across from Jimmy. Jimmy sat down too. A long, heavy silence settled between them. No band, no jokes, no laughter. Just two men, and millions of viewers. 8. The first word. Jimmy exhaled shakily. Eddie, thank you for being here. Eddie nodded. Thank you for having me. Jimmy paused. The world leaned in. Eddie, he said quietly, voice cracking, I'm sorry. Eddie didn't smile, didn't nod, didn't speak. He just waited. Jimmy continued, I crossed a line. I pushed a topic you asked me not to. And I disrespected you. You deserved better. Eddie finally spoke. Yeah, I did. The audience murmured. Jimmy swallowed, shaken but listening. Eddie leaned slightly forward. And I'm here today because I want clarity. Not drama. Clarity. Jimmy nodded vigorously. Absolutely. Good. Eddie said calmly. Because millions of people watched what happened. And they deserve clarity too. Another silence. Tense. Electric. Historic. The cameras zoomed in. The entire world watched. And Eddie Murphy, calm, precise, unshaken, prepared to speak the truth that everyone had been waiting for. If you want part 9, just say, 9 part.